What are some tricks in bed that everyone should know? Journal, date unknown. I fear I may never see my wife again. It seems like an age ago that I said goodnight, as we crawled into our new king-size bed. I rolled over to give her a kiss, but she was lost to me in a veritable desert of sheets, and so I began my journey across the inner spring wasteland. I find no comfort since my comforter went missing. I have lost sight of my pillow 2 years hence, and the madness has begun to set in, but this day I find a break in the monotonous journey. I have discovered a lost civilization comprising of the ancestors of our 2 terriers, who have recognized me as some kind of deity, no doubt due to stories passed down through generations. Dear God, how long have I been out here, searching? They tell me of a legend they call the Great Snorer. They say her rumbling breath can be heard all across these lands when the night is still. I feel like I'm going crazy, but I can almost hear it. Could it be her? Could my journey be at an end? Or is it just another siren's song, ready to lead me away from my love and into the cold, indifferent company of the cat? I'm so tired. Negotiate the level of white noise in your bedroom before committing to sleeping together. I made a bad bargain, and 17 years later I'm still paying for this mistake. ETA, we've talked about it, and this is a hill he is willing to die on, and I'm not. I love sleeping in the same room more than I hate the fan. Even though I do hate the fan. Compromising on the issues that are more important to your partner is what gets you to 17 years, I guess. The even more ridiculous part is that the dogs that sleep in our room are now trained to like it. So sometimes when he is gone and I try to sleep in silence, the dogs will lay in front of the fan and growl and bark until I turn it on because they like the noise and the wind in their hair. And I am a pushover and turn it on for them because I love my puppers even more than I love silence. Oh, dear Lord. You reminded me about one of my most hilarious wife-related stories. We lived together for 20 years already. It was a very hot summer when we moved in our first apartment. We got a lot of necessary and unnecessary stuff with us, and there was an old Soviet fan among them. We were born in Ukraine. My wife said something along, "Would you put that thing on? It is quite hot outside." So I did. And for the next 18 years I've suffered from that monstrosity machine. You could not possibly imagine how loud it was. But I courageously withstood that because my beloved needed it. My marriage was and is perfect in any other way, so I just perceived it like a deserved obstacle in otherwise happy life. So, the year is 2018 and we went on holiday to our old friends. And coincidentally we got drunk and went into discussion about flaws in the relationships, how to build family life, etc. As we are known as the happy couple, our friends teased us a bit and begged to find at least some issues just for the sake of it. So my wife gets quiet for a bit, looks straight into my eyes and says, "You know, I could not have wished for a better partner in life, but there is one thing that bothered me for our whole life. Your damn favorite fan." For a couple of seconds, I was speechless. And then I bursted out in probably the biggest laughter I've ever had. So how, it never came to my mind just to ask her about it for the whole damn life. We have always put it on automatically every fucking night we spent home, and I just retardedly assumed it was her need. Apparently, she believed the exact opposite. We tortured each other for about 18 years. So yeah, it is really important to negotiate such issues before you get into bed. Wipe off surface for crumbs and detritus. Pull the comforter/bottom sheet taut and tuck deeply in each corner for stability. Fluff pillows. Ensure the duvet inner is pulled to each corner and sits nicely in the cover. Correctly align the duvet to 90 degrees and ensure it's aligned evenly across both sides. Give a quick shake of the duvet to freshen the air underneath. Always tuck the bottom of your duvet under your feet. There's room for this as your duvet is one size larger than your bed. Ensure all LED lights of any kind are covered over with black tape. Jam newspaper into any door that might wiggle in the wind. Ensure curtains/blinds are all the way down and wedged into the window indentation so there's no gap for light around the sides. Ensure you have wax or silicone earplugs. Lie awake for 2 hours thinking vaguely about computer games or what you'd do if you won $1 billion. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. Just to say, you shouldn't use melatonin every night you sleep if you don't need it. It's used best to reset your circadian rhythm when you're *jet-lagged and when you're unable to sleep for a number of days. Edit: there are instances where people take melatonin for 1 to 2 months. Please ask your GP or doctor if this is something for you if you suffer from sleeping problems. If you are taking it casually though, take it for only 5 days. One more edit: melatonin helps in short-term periods and is usually not meant for big sleeping problems. As a comment below me has said by a pharmacist, magnesium also works well. Here is a research article that can explain it more in depth. https://www.ncbi.nlm.nih.gov/pmc/article/pmc69108006. Additionally, I am just someone who used to travel from country to country often and took melatonin, by no means a medical professional. Make sure your door is closed, you don't want unwelcome guests peering in from the other room. Make sure the light level in your room is bright enough to see the room's corners but dark enough that the spots the light can't reach aren't voids. You must keep the closet door closed to prevent hallucinations and so the creature inside can't escape. Blinds should be closed so that the more feral creatures don't spot their next meal. If your window is open, ignore the voices. Do not look out the window between the times of 6:30 p.m. and 6:30 a.m. Remove visibility to all reflective surfaces because you might see the hiders. Most of the creatures that hide may be passive, but they're the most terrifying and can cause many effects such as paranoia, insanity, hallucinations, and sleep paralysis. If you do have a reflective surface, do not look at it, especially if the reflection is somewhere you can't see or yourself. If your reflection does not match your actions, keep your eyes closed and stay perfectly still. If you see a hider in the reflection, just ignore it. Hiders have no ill intentions but can cause dangerous psychological damage. If you see a woman in the reflection, do not look back at the mirror, you must look in the direction of where she was in the mirror. After 5 minutes, look back at the mirror. If she moves closer or doesn't move, you're safe. If she disappears, do not look under your bed, do not look to your side, and do not look at the other bunk. Do not under any circumstances look under the bed, the risk is too great. If the shadows in the room have gotten darker or larger, decrease the light level in your room. It is normal to hear sounds during the night, so do not worry about them. You must keep your eyes closed between 4 a.m. and 4:50 a.m. If you get sleep paralysis and see one of the sleep paralysis demons, do not freak out and do not move if you can. They are curious creatures and will keep you safe for as long as they are there. If you wake up at 12:50 a.m., 1:33 a.m., 2:12 a.m., 3:33 a.m., 4:56 a.m., or 5:07 a.m., just stay still and don't move. If you wake up at 6:66 am, just wait until 7:77 am. Once it is 7:77 am, run. I hope these tips helped you guys get to sleep. Night, night. Be sure and wrap/roll up all the covers around you, like a window shade, so your so can't have any. Especially in winter. Jerk and twitch, and even shout while you're sleeping, making sure to move around every 30 seconds or so. All night. Entertains your so. Jiggle your lower leg and foot for several minutes, when your so is trying to go to sleep, because it relaxes me. Eat a lot of chocolate cake, because it makes you fart, and then fart under the covers so many times that the aroma sifts down the hallway from under the door. When getting in bed, don't gradually lay down, just launch in like a cruise missile. Your so, who is trying to fall asleep, will love it. If you have a cold, make sure to thoroughly decorate the bed, the floor, etc. with snotty Kleenex that you couldn't throw away. If you have cats, and they like to snuggle in bed, Make sure to just blithely roll over this way and that, so you can almost crush them. If you can't sleep, go ahead and get that iPad out, and watch videos at 3 a.m. Loud videos. In bed. While your so is sleeping. Or, was sleeping. If you so is a guy, lay on your side facing him, drawing your knees up just opposite his jewels. Do this suddenly, so maybe you can surprise him. Non-sexual bed tip: if you get your period overnight and need to clean up blood, hydrogen peroxide works wonders. It'll get blood out of a mattress in no time. Sexual bed tip: so you started your period last night and got a bunch of blood on your sheets, but you fixed that with hydrogen peroxide and now you would like to get laid in your freshly bloodless bed. Cut a new, non-latex cosmetic sponge in half, wet it and wring it out, and stick it in your vagina, as close to your cervix as possible. It'll hold more blood than you'd even think possible, and you can even get fingered without someone noticing there is anything in there. Remove it as soon as is convenient, because it is a foreign object and toxic shock syndrome is a real thing. Don't want to put a cosmetic sponge in your snatch because toxic shock syndrome is a real thing? Go to Planned Parenthood and pick up some internal/female condoms. They fit inside you, and melt with the heat of your vagina. Add some lube, and enjoy not bleeding on anyone's dick, fingers, toy, etc. Younger guys might not be aware of this simple trick to enhance pleasure during sex. When you are close to finishing, do it doggy style and have your partner reach back between their legs and gently stroke/tickle your balls. As they approach the moment of climax, they are extra sensitive and this stroking/tickling fells amaze balls. This is also useful in the event that you want to come quickly for some reason. Those doing the stroking/tickling, there is no reason why you can't take care of your own needs as well while in the neighborhood. A little extra stimulation close to orgasm for both of you can push the experience over the edge into epic territory. Most people know this already, but as XKCD says, 1 of the 10,000. For those who have trouble falling asleep at night, try counting backwards from 300 slowly and focus on absolutely nothing but counting. If you have trouble focusing on counting, you can start a bit quicker and then slow it down as you go. While effective, of course, this is extremely boring, although I think that's the point, hey, but just keep to it as this has been very successful and has helped me fall asleep without any other external aids like 4/5 times. And this is coming from someone who has had trouble falling asleep for as long as I can remember, and apart from drugs, this has been the only technique that has ever been successful for me myself. So use it well, smiley face, edit, BTW. If you are having trouble keeping focus while counting and your mind keeps wandering, I have found either or both while counting, picturing the actual numbers in your head, or drawing/tracing the numbers with your finger helps enormously and surprisingly will not affect or hinder this technique in any way. Get good curtains, but don't black out your room with blinds. If you're a guest someplace, you want to be able in a room that isn't pitch black dark. Vacuum often, dust can lead to nightmares. Sleep on your stomach or sides to avoid nightmares. Sleep on your back to avoid a hurt back. Separate mattresses increase sleeping comfort when you're not sleeping alone. Buy a bed that's large enough to fit a child with nightmares who can't sleep alone. Buy a bed that's large enough to invite an adult play partner if that's your thing. Have a red towel in your nightstand for those days. Also a box of tissues. Buy condoms in bulk on Amazon. 100 for $20 is better than 10 for $20 in the drugstore. Talk. This should be the first. Talk. That's the most important trick for sex. Silicone spray on all corners of a wooden frame avoids squeaking noises. A notebook in your nightstand can help with writing down those late night thoughts or dreams you want to remember. If you're into that, a steel frame is easier to tie ropes to. An LED RGB mood light is cheap. Incontinence pads/puppy pads are wonderful for messy sex and play wherever you are. They make clean up a breeze. Breathe. Connecting to your breath can allow you to focus on the sensations and experience to allow for deeper connection and sensory pleasure. Breathing is a powerful vehicle for controlling orgasm and/or ejaculation. Take long, deep, steady breaths if you are trying to hold off from coming. Mastering this is a powerful tool for longevity in bed. Keep a towel handy. Have water nearby. No one wants the sexy moment ruined by coughs due to unbearable cotton mouth. I mean, I'm sure someone likes it. Laugh. Notice what you enjoy about the other person. Notice what you enjoy about yourself. It's always okay to change your mind and state your boundaries. You should feel safe in expressing your needs. If you don't, that is something to consider. Clean and sanitize/use barrier protection with toys when swapping between partners to help avoid unwanted pregnancy and STIs. Have fun and be excellent to one another. How to disappear when caught red-handed inappropriately waving your mighty yet ultimately still magicless wand around by any one member of your family's siblings or parents. When enlightened one learns of their own heightened self-own awareness to their half to full-blooded prince alarmed in hand and raised up patroness firing safety's arms while in one's own chamber of secrets ordering the phoenix to rise up from the earth and its prisoner Azkaban's body shaking and spilling over and out one's goblet of fire unsettled deep within, now caught and permanently scared FO life to live out in their deathly hollows of embarrassment, ridicule, questioning and chastising, scolding out loud WBY locking he damn do. Himself asking how in the hell himself how in THHLLL did you not lock the duo dum 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 were. While practicing self-personal boy wonderment of wizardry. Initiate the fucking sex if you don't already. Initiate everywhere. Everywhere. Chicken nuggets in the oven? Get under the desk. I used to not, and ever since I did, F25, OMG best sex ever, I started doing it a few years ago with a man I'm sure I'll marry now, not from the sex, he just loves me the way I need and ways I never knew I did, and oh my god, when you crave them enough to initiate it, when you experiment and have fun with it. Mind-blowing. His grunts and with the blowjobs are amazing. And can't, roll your lips in to cover your teeth. I have absurdly sharp teeth, but I've never had an issue even drunk once I got in the habit of rolling my lips. Like, roll, lick lips, think of something that makes you hungry, fried chicken works for me, and make a bubble of spit like you're gonna blow a spit bubble, but that way saliva is fully around the lips of your mouth so you won't catch skin. Tongue action is great, especially if you can't deep throat, roll your tongue around or up and down, even with another woman. Massages while going down is so amazing. I've found with a woman massaging one of their inner thighs whilst I'm slurping their golden palace is a plus. Not continuously cause that's odd, but find their sensation spots. Places where people don't touch normally, but you wanna shed that, I crave your body touch. Not always brash, but sensual, yearn them. Back to with heterosexuals, the key to slurping balls is the same cupped lip, and slurp the balls with the hand and tongue with firm, but very salivated grip on the stem. So the other hand can also massage the body. Honestly, the best trick is stop being fucking awkward. Get rid of blue light 1H before bed. This includes white lights and your phone without a blue light filter. Blue light tells your brain to clear out melatonin, instead of letting it accumulate, which makes it harder to sleep. Sleep in a cooler room. For the same reason as above. It seems around 15 to 18 degrees Celsius is optimal for sleeping. Meditate on your worries for 15 minutes before bed. This gives you time to mentally process what you're anxious about, so it doesn't keep you awake in bed. Sleep regularly. And ditch the alarm. Make sure you always go to bed at the same time. And go to bed early enough to where you'll naturally wake up without your alarm. 7-9H. Cutting sleep short is bad for you, especially for your mental health and memory. Sleep on your side, not your back. Sleeping on your back restricts your airways, causing snoring and worse. Sleeping on your back also makes it harder for the brain to clean itself while you're sleeping. Have sex before bed. Not only will it help you relax, but getting a little light exercise before bed will also help you fall asleep. No caffeine 10h before bed. This should be obvious. Caffeine blocks the neuroreceptors melatonin is meant to bind to. So if you have caffeine in your system, your brain's sleep signal is interrupted and weakened. Caffeine has a half-life of 5h, so 10h might not be enough, but it'll be better than having caffeinated tea before bed.